Welcome all, welcome all. We are live, we are live, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to some Mets talk. I am Barry Grant Jr. That is my good friend, good buddy, Tom Greer. How you doing, my man?
Doing great. Doing great. Christmas is almost here, and I'm hoping that we get that. It didn't end up working out, but do you remember on Christmas Eve or Christmas? I think it was Christmas Eve. We got the Mets signed Dylan Betances.
Yes, I remember
signing. I remember being that obviously didn't work out, but I remember being so excited that I think it was Brody Van Wagenen got us a good reliever for the bullpen. So I'm hoping for better news tomorrow.
Brody Van Wagenen. That is a name I didn't think I would hear.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you don't really hear him a lot because.
Armand is in here early. What's up,
What's
Armand?
up?
How you doing, man? What's up, guys? Yeah, definitely. We are here to talk some Mets news. I am not a Christmas guy. I admit it. I don't like Christmas. But if we get a nice Christmas gift from David Stearns, I'll be absolutely excited, over the moon. He gave me, you know what? Matter of fact, he did already give me it. He did already give me an early Christmas gift, and we can talk about it. Finally, Tom, Jeff McNeil is gone. Like, this is something that I have been craving for years. Like, this is not just like last year or two. I have been calling for Jeff McNeil to be off this roster for a solid 5 seasons. I've been saying it for 5 years. This is something that, and we're going to talk about it too, because this kind of stems into conversation that we were having off pod. Like, there's something that needed to be removed on this team.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly what it was. We don't know who it actually was, who's the actual culprit, but somebody had to go. And I would always circle Jeff McNeil's name because, like, when you're winning, you can be able to tolerate a lot of BS. When you're losing, that same character that has these like eccentric like parts to his personality where he's wears his emotions on his sleeve, his body language is bad, all of these things, when you're losing, those things get exacerbated by 1,000. Right?
Yeah.
And it causes issues in a locker room with guys that are really trying to get right. And I've seen that for too long out of Jeff McNeil. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying he's a bad teammate. I'm just saying that he just wasn't a fit here anymore. And
Agreed.
It's been longer than a year. And I'm so glad that David Stearns got rid of him. He's traded to the Oakland A's or the Sacramento A's. You know, they put in what was it, $5+ million to actually, you know, facilitate the trade. We got back you know, a young prospect, young international prospect. So, you know, let's talk about this in regards to, you know, your thoughts about Jeff McNeil not being on the team anymore, and you know, what you think this can be able to create for the Mets going forward.
Well, first off, I think we can all just breathe a sigh of relief that we're not going to have to worry about a Jeff McNeil, Mark Vientos, and crossing our fingers, not a Jeff McNeil, Paul Goldschmidt platoon at first base. Thank God we don't have to do that.
That's gone.
Yeah, that's not happening. But I you knew it was coming. Like, even those, like, I think Andy Martino had it where the Mets planned on having Jeff McNeil as a part of their team. Like, I know that Andy's gotten some stuff wrong here and there, but like, even when they talked about Jeff McNeil platooning at first base, I knew you're dumping Nimmo. You're not signing Alonso. Diaz is a totally different thing. Jeff's not going to be here. There's no way.
All bullshit. Yeah.
There's no way that I'm going to listen to 3 or 4 years of there's a problem in this clubhouse and Jeff McNeil is the guy that got into a fist fight with our best player
several times
at one point in time. Like, you can't tell me that he's the guy that's going to stay, you know? So I knew this was coming. It's a little sad just because I remember when Jeff McNeil was in the minors and we were screaming at the Mets, dude, this guy hits. Call him up. And they just wouldn't. They eventually did, won a batting title. Like, I remember the good parts of Jeff McNeil, and I loved how versatile he was as a player, but it wears on you so fast. Like, so fast. You think about all those good things that Jeff McNeil does and how versatile he is, and then you watch him play, and he doesn't hit for average anymore. He all it is strikeouts or lazy fly balls. It looks like he's just like throwing the bat at the ball. Like it doesn't look like he really gets good swings anymore. It just look, he's a good baseball player. Like I don't want to just take a dump on Jeff McNeil. Like he is a good baseball player. It just wasn't working here.
Right.
It was not. Jeff McNeil and the New York Mets ran their course. I hope he go do great in Sacramento. Go have fun in a minor league stadium.
Yeah, and the thing is too with him is that listen, he's playing for his baseball career as well, because if he does end up having a good year with the Sacramento A's, he's a free agent, right? So he's gonna be able to see how he can be able to latch on to another team and probably get that last contract in his career, probably, right? I don't know if he's gonna sign 1-year deals after this, but he can still be able to make something of his career going forward. But it like you said, it just wasn't going to materialize here anymore. He was a very, very long tenured Met, been in the organization for a long time, and it's just one of those things where it was time for him to go. Like like if he would have come back and been on this team for this year, I'd have lost my mind. Tom. I'd have lost my mind.
He doesn't make sense.
It just wouldn't have made sense. We got some comments here. A lot of people feel the same way we do. Armand does. Goodbye and good riddance. Chef Bamba, gone. Happy holidays, Jeff McNeil. Out of New York, came early. Armand says, on Yanks Hot Stove, the vibe that Jack Curry is getting with the Yankees and Tatsuya Mai is that the connection does not exist. He believes Mai will not sign with them. We're definitely going to get to that, Armand, in regards to like all the other hot stove rumors that are going on, are circling, around the Mets and who we think, where the actual fit is. So we'll definitely get there. Mets should sign him. I totally agree. Yeah, definitely going to get there. But let's talk about, because my emotions for this team is still there. I was mad at the Wilson Contreras thing. If you saw my IG, it was very funny. But that's something I can get over, because Wilson Contreras, a good player. Is he a deal breaker player? No, that there's other players out there. Ryan O'Hearn just signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? Yeah. He's another guy that we were circling. He's no longer available. So, the options are starting to dwindle, but I'm still hopeful because, we do have Jorge Polanco here. I do believe that he does have the ability to play some first base. He hasn't played, but he said that he's been taking first base reps with the Mariners. He took first base reps in practice. So there might be something there. So we'll see what happens. But that's not even what I want to talk about. This whole roster of last year made it felt like 2023 to me. And what I mean by that is that we're coming off a hot year, disappointing year, right? 101 games. Then we lose to the Padres. We fizzle out. And then the next year, it was just off from the time that Diaz got hurt in the World Baseball Classic to then everything else. It was just like something is wrong with this bunch. Like we had Scherzer, we had Verlander, and it just felt off from the jump. That was proven correct, right? The team was just off the entire year. 2024, the magic happens, right? People, Met fans didn't really have a lot of expectations, and the magic happens, right? 2025, expectations go up again, but then there was something that just felt off about this team again.
Yeah.
And I had that feeling, Silent Assassin had that feeling, you had that feeling, and the team collapsed. There was something rotten on this team to the core. And I'm starting to be convinced that blowing up the core is the right way to go about it. Because if you can't pinpoint one person, you got to pinpoint everybody. And that's the way it is because after the collapse of 07 and 08 for the Mets, right? Mm-hmm. They had to blow that team up. And the only people that were left were David Wright and Jose Reyes. It's the same thing in regards to you got to start over. That core failed. We hear all of these things. You talked about Pete Alonso on MLB Network with the interview, the whole Brandon Nimmo stuff about him, maybe feeling a way about Lindor getting all of this captain vibe and captain conversation. Edwin Diaz talking about he's mad about Devin Williams. He didn't get a call. Like, there's just so many things that you're just like, something's off. Like, they may be cool with each other, but something is off. Like me playing sports, I have friends that I love to death, right? But I can't play basketball with them because I'm going to strangle them. I love them to death. Like, these are my good friends. I've known them for 20 plus years. I can't play with you because if I do play with you, we're going to fight. Yeah. And that's kind of the vibe that I got from this team, is that I think that they all like each other. I think they're very supportive of each other. But sometimes when you blend all of that into one clubhouse, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that the blend of players that we've had on this team for 5-6 years, it did not work. The core just didn't work together. And it was time to be able to sever ties with that. And I'm starting to come around to that time. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, look, I say unfortunately simply because, like, of the players of that core, as a fan, I genuinely liked.
Yes, same.
As a fan, this still sucks. You know what I mean?
It does.
When you think about it from just a baseball point of view, you're right. Like, there was only so many times that I'm going to get excited about seeing Pete Alonso and a lot of my favorite, as a fan, favorite players take the field before it starts getting annoying that they're not winning games, you know, or they're not performing at the peak of their performance. They're not giving us.
Yeah. Like, we're constantly making excuses.
Exactly. So I'm not as much as this sucks, like, I want to see it happen. I want to see this get blown up, and I want to see. That's why I said last show we did, I was kind of upset that we didn't see this transition last year.
Yeah.
Like,
off last year. Yeah.
I want to give as much as everybody, craps on David Stearns right now, and, rightfully so, until he starts making moves. I'm not going to, I'm willing to give the guy a chance, but I'm not going to, if you have problems with him, I'm not going to blame you. They haven't made a lot of crazy big moves.
Right.
But I want to see him take this team and build into what he believes is going to be a winner. And he really didn't get the chance to do that the previous offseason, or he tried to by those, bargain basement pitching moves, which again did work at one point. So, and bringing in Juan Soto. So, like, I want to see him be like, all right, let me take a wrecking ball, because there's only, when you have the core that they had so many players locked at positions that there's only so many moves that he could have made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go get Kyle Tucker if I've got Juan Soto, Carson Benj, and Tyrone Taylor playing center and Limo in left. Where's Kyle Tucker gonna go play? I'm not going to go get Cody Bellinger if I have all of these outfield positions locked up and Pete Alonso at first base. Where's Cody Bellinger going to play? Is he just going to DH? If he's going to do that, he's not going to sign here, because you're not going to pay a DH. You're not going to pay him to be DH when he would get going playing in the field someplace else. So
yeah. And also too, you made a great point off pod that, like, let's just factor out. Let's just play out the scenario. You sign back Pete, you sign back Diaz, you keep Nimmo. Like, you are now having you have a payroll that's extremely elevated, and you still have not addressed the pitching yet.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, you're keeping the core together, cool, and then you're going to fix the pitching, and now you're going to have a payroll that's pushing into the 400 range, right? And paying luxury tax on, I don't care how much Cohen has, like, it's going to start to cost you, right? And I think Cohen would do that if he had the confidence that core can get him where he needs to go. But if you don't have the confidence, if you're saying, oh, well, we'll see if we can be able to get some pitching, if we can be able to, like, if you keep saying if before your sentence, that's the problem, is that you still don't necessarily believe totally that your particular core can get you to where it needs to go. And that's the problem, right? Is that with these guys coming back, okay, we've seen them win 100 plus games and they fizzled out. We've seen them start off good, being 20 plus games over 500 before June, and they fizzle out. Something was bad with this team, and you got to shake it up to see if they were the problem, or there's something else that's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm there now. I'm like, all right, cool. Miss Pete, Miss Diaz, Miss Nimmo, miss all of these guys. But I want to see what the new Mets are going to look like, because we love the names on the back. We are emotionally attached to those names on the back because of the years that they gave us in Mets uniforms.
Yeah.
But we are loyal to the name that's in the front.
Yep.
And that's what it is. That name that's right here. We've seen plenty of players leave in our history. I was pissed off when Eduardo Alfonso got traded. I was pissed off when Robin Ventura left. I was pissed off when all of these guys, like, we have had guys leave, but we also stay loyal to this right here.
Absolutely.
And this is exactly what it's about. It's not about the names on the back of the jerseys. We want to win. And whoever can be able to get us there, that's who we're going to support, and we're going to continue to build around. Like, this is where I'm at now. I can be I'm going to be emotional at times, especially in instant reaction stuff. I'm going to be there. But once I go ahead and settle in and think about the bigger picture, this is where I'm at.
Oh yeah, and dude, and that's really what it is. The Mets last year had the second highest payroll, just behind the Dodgers.
Yeah.
If the Mets would have brought back all of those players that we had mentioned before, I don't know of the players that are available in free agency. I don't know who they sign to make themselves marginal that much better to compete with the Dodgers being so close in payroll.
Facts.
You know what I mean? There's really no, and even then, like, we keep talking about the Mets need pitching, the Mets need pitching, the Mets need pitching. I'm sorry. Like, I still don't think the Mets pitching staff is a Framber Valdez or a Michael King move away from being contending with the Dodgers. I just don't. And then if you would have brought all those players back, you're bringing them back. They didn't score enough runs most of the year. They didn't hit with runners in scoring position a lot of the year.
Defense wasn't great.
Defense was not great. So, like, I get it. Like, Pete was great. Nimmo was cool. But you gotta, when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Absolutely.
Clearly, the guys that you have here committed to long-term, Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto, you're obviously not moving those guys. Those Lindor trade rumors to the Padres, I thought were like insane. I'm like,
all BS.
Who's like, do you are you, the MLB offseason is so slow. People need clicks somewhere.
Yeah.
So, which is another issue. They, in the CBA, we're going to be taught, like, in that CBA, I know you're not listening, MLBPA and Major League Baseball, but, like,
you're going to moratorium.
You're going to fight about a salary cap. You should figure out a free agency signing period.
Yeah.
Give us a moratorium. This is crazy.
It should be, like, I understand that baseball is a lot different because you have so many players that you got to sign, minor leagues and all this other stuff. You got to fill out an entire organization full of players. So it does take time, but they should have no more than a
6-week
free agency period. That's
Agreed.
it.
Agreed.
6 weeks. And then you have a 2-week moratorium period where you offer contracts, and then players can be able to jump out of that period after 2 weeks. But after that, that's it. Like 6 weeks, lock it in, lock it up, and that's it. And we move on, because this months of just dragging out, it's a problem. And what we're seeing is the reason why we are headed towards a lockout.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of teams are taking the luxury tax money. They are pocketing that money. They're not putting it back in free agency. They're crying broke. No team in baseball is broke.
No.
Let's just talk about that. No team in baseball is broke.
No.
They just don't want to spend the money. And what's happened is that it's the players' union against analytics. That's what definitely is going on, because a lot of these front offices now are analytic driven, and they're saying we shouldn't pay all this money for a guy that's 33 years old. They're like, based on the numbers, blah, blah, blah. It's causing an issue in baseball, and it's going to come to a head at some point. We don't need a salary cap, but they need to figure out this analytic, like this. It's too much now, because it's affecting how teams are building their rosters. Like, think about it. In every sport, right? Analytics is heavy in basketball. Analytics is very heavy in football. The difference between those sports is that when it comes to free agency, guys get paid.
Yeah.
Those free agency guys get paid in basketball, guys get paid in football. But for baseball reasons, you see like there's we cannot pay a 32-year-old. Al Horford just got signed by the Golden State Warriors. He's 50, right? They didn't get, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you telling me about analytics and like it doesn't make sense. So we got to figure out how to kind of bridge the gap there. But that right there kind of gives me, I want to know how you feel about this. Do you feel that how David Stearns is building the team or how Steve Cohen is allowing him to build the team has anything to do with their uncertainty about the lockout that's coming?
I'd have to imagine that they can't not be thinking that. They can't not be thinking about what's going to happen following this year and everything. But I don't think that it's the full driving force because, again,
there you go. Armand said it. Go ahead. Keep
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like, I think it would be dumb for them to not think about it. But all the messaging that we keep getting from the Mets is that they're building a team to contend for the playoffs, and I am going to tend to believe them because when the Mets say they're going to go out and try to get somebody, they do try to go get somebody. They did all they could to get Juan Soto here. They really tried to get Yamamoto here. He just wanted to go ride Ohtani's coattails.
Right.
Worked out for him. Good for him.
Pretty
but
good
guy. Good for him. But I don't see the Mets. The Steve Cohen Mets haven't given me any evidence that they're going to not try to make this team better. They might fail in some areas. Clearly they have.
Yeah.
But I know you're right. I definitely believe that they're taking the impending lockout into consideration. I don't believe the owners are idiots enough to think that they're going to get a salary cap because it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't think it's really going to hinder them from making this team better.
Right. I agreed. Like Armand says that don't be surprised if teams are freezing out current free agents until spring training to get players on short term. Absolutely. Because that's what the analytics are telling them, Armand. That's exactly what's happening is that these teams are literally, I'm not going to use the word conspiring together, but there's something going on here. It just like over the last decade, we've seen this happening more and more every free agent period. And it's like, I don't think that baseball had a spending problem 10, 15 years ago. Like when you think about like Alex Rodriguez signed a $252 million deal and then 275, right? Yes, inflation, but if you're just looking at the contract, 10 years, 252, that's $25 million a year. Bro, you got Bobby Witt Jr. that's making that right now. You have like nobody is making Soto money outside of Soto and Ohtani. Yeah. Everybody is still in the same fair market value, high 20s, low 30s, probably some mid 30s according to whoever it is, the pitchers. But like there hasn't been this explosion of like everybody making $50 million a year. So I don't understand how you can go from giving out big contracts to guys who are worthy of big contracts to trying to freeze these guys out and not pay them. It's just dumb. It's dumb.
It is. No, and Armand, you're literally right on. And that's what I was going to kind of say for this is like, I think the real issue is because it's baseball's like right in what they're doing. Like at where Kyle Tucker is in his career, I don't know if I would give him like a 10-year deal. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of these guys are looking for. They're looking for long-term deals for security with a lot of money. And when guys hit free agency, they're hitting free agency closer to 30.
Because why?
Because the teams hold them under control for so long.
Control, exactly.
So I think they need to figure out a way to just let the teams let guys hit free agency sooner.
Early.
Let guys hit free agency younger so they can go get their money.
Yeah.
And baseball will value them more because they're younger players.
That's true.
You'll have more fights for players because they're actually a commodity. You're not paying a guy that you're expecting the back half of that contract to be like really bad. You might get a few more good years out of that deal. Like Juan Soto, granted, it was 15 years, right?
Yeah, 15 years. Yep.
15 years. A lot of that contract is probably going to suck towards the end. But because of, knock on wood, because of when they got Soto, he's young enough to be like, okay, a good chunk of these are going to still be good.
Yeah, he's still going to be very productive for at least like 10 of those years.
Exactly. And I'll eat the last 5, especially if they get at least one World Series. I'll eat the end of it. So
exactly.
I mean, base teams got to really understand, like, okay, yeah, the reason that the players are pissed is because they're getting a free agency when they're almost aged out.
And they can't get
the deals. They can't get the long-term deals. You're squeezing them and making them sign these 3, 4, 5-year deals.
I believe that the biggest fight within the new CBA is going to be player control, and also option years for minors, right? Yeah. I think that players might want to lessen the option years from 3 to 2, right? And then shorten the free agency eligible years from 6 to 4. Yeah. That would make sense, because if you can be able to hit free agency after year 4, then now you have a bigger chance to be able to cash out, like you said, because you're not age 31 heading into your age 32 season as a potential outfielder or a corner outfielder or a center fielder. Now you can be able to hit a free agency when you're still 28, 29. That's how it's supposed to be. So they definitely need to do this as well. Yeah. This is another one. The QO needs to go away. I believe that the QO, I'm okay with the QO. I just think that they need to change in regards to compensation of what the QO actually is. Yeah. Like, when you sign somebody, it shouldn't hamper you to the point where you got to give up whatever you got to give up. Like, there's a lot of structuring that they're going to have to do for that next CBA. So I believe that the work stoppage, it's going to be long. It's not going to be something that's like, we'll fix it in a month. I'm hoping that we have baseball in 2027. I am not certain that we're going to have baseball in 2027.
That's why Mets got to win it this year.
That's why we got to go. Yeah. Armand said baseball has many issues. Absolutely.
Always
100%.
does.
It's not just one thing. So,
just don't let them cry poor. They have a lot that baseball has had issues forever. Don't let them tell you that they don't make money.
Don't let these owners cry poor. They all have TV right deals. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Go walk through Manhattan and you tell me how poor, like any of those billionaire owners. Go walk within your cities and you go tell me how poor you are.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, you go walk through with the A's. They ain't poor. They're not poor. They about to move to Vegas. You think you can be poor and go to Vegas? Like, there's no way.
It is kind of like, I know we're talking about the Mets, and we can get back to the Mets whenever. It is kind of embarrassing that they're showing all of these renderings of the Vegas stadium, and I don't even think Vegas has approved their move there yet. Like, I don't think that they're definitely going. I mean, they're probably going to end up there, but like, I'm pretty sure the city of Vegas doesn't want them.
Probably don't want them.
No.
You know what it's like. When you have those relationships and the girl is already planning moving in, and the guy's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even know if we're gonna be together. You talk about moving in, like, what are you talking about?
Speaking of which, you left your toothbrush here. I want you to kind of kindly take that home, please.
And so we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, we can be able to get a resolution early, but I doubt it. Tom, what do you think about these rumors here, sir? The Ketel Marte rumor is very interesting to me. I like him as a player. I think he would be dynamic. Where you fit him, I don't know, but at that point, I don't care, because with a bat like that, you can find somewhere to put him in that lineup. So, do you feel that there's any smoke behind these rumors, or do you think that something else might be going on?
Now, I don't know if this is exactly how like trade negotiations work. I'm going to say it, but I thought about this on my way home today. You know how they always say that like the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Mets are probably going to get tied to all of these free agents to kind of
even when they're not
up their value, even when they're not.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Diamondbacks are kind of doing the same thing, except with trade rumors, because all David Stearns has been talking about for the last probably 2 years is how great their farm system is, and he's been talking about how active they are in trades and how they're looking to get better. They have all these top 100 prospects, and I'm wondering if the Diamondbacks, who know that they're going to probably trade Ketel Marte, are trying to say, yeah, the Mets are calling us. So whoever decides to pick up the phone wants to up their package because they know the Mets, if the Mets are involved, they're coming with a good one. So I wonder if it's the Diamondbacks trying to flease another team
to try to get some of their high end prospects.
Yeah.
Listen, at this stage of the game in regards to the off season, I don't put it past anything that you said to be a lie. I think that's accurate. When you have big market teams, free agents and agents will always, and other GMs will always put a name out there, even though they've never had contact with that team, just because it's like, oh, well, the Mets, the number one farm system is okay. No. Let's go talk to them. What do you want? What do you want? If the Mets package is this, then we have. Of course they're going to do that. They can use us as leverage because we do have the rated number one farm system. So any player that's in the process of being traded or in some rumors, you're going to hear the Mets attached to them just because they want to go ahead and create this bidding war. So I don't doubt that for a second. I do feel that there is smoke there though, just because he's such a good player. And when you talk about the analytics part of it, he's a David Stearns gem.
Yeah.
He's a guy that David Stearns would love, because when you talk about the advanced stats, his advanced stats, his WRC plus and his WAR and all this other stuff, they were actually better than Pete's last year.
He's good, but it's because Ketel Marte is like an all around just really good baseball.
That's what
player.
I'm saying.
Like,
so it's like, yeah. So it that for us would be good, because for me, look, we got Soto, who's the guy can hit 40, 50 home runs, cool. But give me, outside of Soto, I want guys from the top of this lineup to the bottom of this lineup that have potential to hit 20 to 25 plus home runs. If you can be able to get that all through your lineup, that's a way better lineup than having Pete in there. And as much as I like Pete, it's like I want balance. I want what the Blue Jays have. I want what the Dodgers have. I want what these other deep lineups have. That's what I want. I don't care about just having one particular masher. I need multiple guys that can be able to give you numbers, and that's what I'm looking for. So if we can be able to add a Ketel Marte to this lineup after clearing out, the money that McNeil was making, now you're talking. Now I want something like that. 100%.
Oh, totally. And I think it's just I don't know. I don't know how positionally versatile he is, because I did read that they might put him in the outfield. He could probably
he's played
third.
some center field early on in his career.
I would probably stick him in left. If he can play, if you could play center, you could play left. I vehemently believe that. So stick him in left field, just because I don't want him. He's 32. 32 is not old, but I don't want him running around commanding center field, especially if you're predominantly a second baseman.
Tearing a hamstring.
I don't want that, because like I'm looking at his baseball savant page and I'm just seeing a lot of red. Like batted 291 last year, 550, 524 slugging. Like the dude's great everywhere with the bat. The only thing that makes me concerned about him being like a David Stearns type of guy is he's 32 years old and his contract doesn't come off the books until 2032. Which again, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care, because if it's going to help me win in 2026, I'll deal with that down the line. And I don't think 32 is that old.
No, it's not.
But I think Armand said that Ketel was he was talking about wanting to be a DH rather than play more second base, which
is good. That
is good.
We have that space for him. So that's great.
Exactly. He can go play. He can, if we want, I'm sure Ketel Marte could figure out first base if he's so good defensively. Have him, and he'll DH some days. Polanco will play first. Polanco DHs, he plays first.
Right.
Do that. I'm totally on board.
Right. While having Simeon, be the second baseman. So what I mean? Like that's I'm okay with that. Like this is one thing that's interesting for me. He said, we should also ask for Jake McCarthy or Alex Thomas. I like Alex Thomas. The problem is with Alex Thomas is he can't hit. Like,
that
what I mean? Like, he is athletic outfielder, cool, but he cannot hit to save his life. And I'm done with guys like that. I need people who can be able to hit.
We got that guy already. His name is Tyrone Taylor. I don't need another Tyrone Taylor.
Right. We had a guy like that last year. His name was Jose Siri. He got cut.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we don't want those. We need guys that can be able to hit. But Jake McCarthy, not bad. But I don't want no parts of Alex Thomas.
No, I'm okay. Jake McCarthy did he not do enough last year to even get a Baseball Savant page?
Yeah, I don't know. This is another comment here by John R464. Yandy Diaz will be a good. Yeah, absolutely.
He would.
I think Yandy Diaz. I think because David Stearns has a very good relationship with the Tampa Rays, I do believe that that's a deal that can be able to be had.
Yeah.
Because Yandy Diaz, he's not a terrible first baseman, but he's better than Pete defensively, right?
Yeah.
And his bat is solid. He's not a guy that's going to hit 40 home runs, but he can give you 20 plus home runs. He can hit 280. Like, this is a guy that can be able to be a very quality, good first baseman for you. And I'm head over heels. Like, if we can get Yandy Diaz, I'm all right with that. I'm very good with that.
I couldn't agree with you more, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, just make that deal happen. The Rays look like they're going to sell off pieces anyway. Yandy Diaz is getting older. They probably want to get younger. They probably want some pitching.
Yeah.
Mets got pitching in spades. You're not going to I don't think you're going to have to give up like any of the big ones.
Nah, I think you might be able to get a 1-for-1. I think you can get a Yandy Diaz if you just give him David Peterson.
Yeah. And man, I mean, like, you'd probably just be like, "Hey, do you want Mark Vientos too, just to get him out of here?" Because he doesn't have a position. Like,
or give up like a Tyler McGill.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
How funny would it be? How funny would it be if they trade Tyler McGill and then this deal that we've been hearing since the winter meetings of Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill coming here? How funny would that be? And then the other one comes in. That'd be so funny. That'd be so funny.
I'm telling you, man. Like, there's so many possibilities here for David Stearns to be able to get really creative. Ahmad says Peterson and Acuna for I'm okay with that.
Do it. I'll drive him to the airport. The only thing that makes me nervous, especially with the state of the Mets pitching, I understand that David Peterson fell off a cliff at the end of last year. I totally get it. But for a good portion of the year, a lot of the year, David Peterson was the only reliable starter the New York Mets had. He was the only guy that was giving them length. He was pitching like he was if he wasn't an ace, he was a 2. Like, he was pitching really well for a lot of last year.
Nah, he was solid. And then
trading him away scares me, especially with their pitching staff right now. Trading him away.
And he's a lefty too. So it's like, lefties can they can go through their ebbs and flows, but once they get the groove, they can be able to find it back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, he beat the allegations of the Mets can't develop lefty pitching because, I mean, like, he's better than John Neese and he's better than Steven Matz. So
John Neese is my guy.
He was the man. He was the man.
John Neese used to throw junk up there and still be effective. That was my guy.
Funny story about John Neese. So my brother brings this up to me every single baseball season. It was me, my brother, my dad, and my grandfather. We were at the Met game, and John Neese was pitching. He was like relatively, I think he was a rookie. And I kept telling them, like, guys, this is John Neese. This guy's supposed to be really good. I think he's going to be the real deal. I think he gave up a home run to the pitcher in that game. It might have been right after I said that. And they were like, yeah, real good. My brother brings it up all the time.
Oh, my God. Listen, John Neese reminded me of Chet Steadman from Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was just,
oh my God, that's
he
so
just
funny.
Threw junk up there. And it was just like, all right, like, it's fine. Like, just get through this inning, please, John.
Yeah,
just don't get shelled.
Don't blow up yet, please.
But so Can You Behold says that Gattel is a great bat, but his issues crying due to the fans. So, well, listen, you got to remember that year the man lost his mother. There were those fans that were saying some disparaging things about his dead mother. So the man had a human moment. I am not going to like kind of just write him off for that. We've all had some issues in our lives where it gets personal, where somebody close to you, is no longer here and you get a little bit aggressive. So I that's a one-off because his teammates have come out for him like aggressively and vehemently saying that he's a great teammate. Like like all of these rumors or whatever they're hearing is all bullshit. So I don't believe any of that stuff.
Yeah, and again, Ketel Marte, on base percentage was 390, batting average was 291, slugging percentage was 524. If he came here and did that, whoever decided to make fun of his dead mom in Citi Field, I don't care if he's a Mets fan, Ketel Marte, if you're listening, will beat the crap out of him for you. I promise. Like, if you're gonna come here and do that, don't worry. We'll take care of him.
We'll spin the block on that fan, whoever the hell that is. You know
we'll take care of him for you.
Yeah, you don't come to Queens, don't mess with ours. Don't mess with ours.
Exactly.
You become a Met. Now you got family here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's Perdomo came out. I heard that. So yeah, it's just like, you gotta some of those rumors, yes, they could be true, but I like the player. Bring him here.
Dude, as the days go on and Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger don't get deals, I'm starting to think that they might fit the David Stearns model of being like, hey, we're probably going to have to take another short-term deal.
Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it. I think you're right, just because who their agent is.
Are they both Boris guys? They're both Boris guys, right?
Is Tucker an agent guy? Boris guy?
I
know Belly is. Armand, let me know if Kyle Tucker is a Boris guy.
According to Reddit, he is Rising. He is not a. This is off of Rising
so it's
Apple.
only Belly. So
not
it's only
a Boris
Belly.
guy.
So if it's Belly, if we're just gonna focus on Belly, right? If we're gonna just focus on Belly, the fact that Boris has a good relationship with a Steve Cohen, you already know that phone call is coming at some point. Like, hey, maybe we can be able to work something out on a short deal. And if it's a short deal, I think David Stearns is going to jump all over this shit.
Immediately.
If it's a 3-year deal for Belly, or even if it's a 4, if he wants a 4-year deal, how can you say no to Cody Bellinger? How?
You can't. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's 30. The only thing that sucks for Cody Bellinger as a player is taking that 4-year deal. It would have to be for a lot of money because that's your last big money contract. You're not hitting free agency at 34. And it might be, I don't know when his birthday is July 13th. So it would be like your 34, 35 season.
Right.
Hitting it then, he's not going to get anything. He's going to get next to nothing compared to what he would get this year. So, but he might not have any other options. Like I don't. That's again a problem with the MLB offseason is just there's no smoke. There's nothing. I don't hear Cody Bellinger. Like I hear him tied to people, but I never hear anything serious. You never see anything like serious. Like it's just Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker are still there. You know what I mean?
think that this might be the quietest baseball offseason that I can remember. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like last year, other than Soto, it was pretty quiet.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't, to be honest with you, I don't remember the last wow offseason for Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? You knew Ohtani was going to probably end up going to the Dodgers. Even when the Mets were going to go try to talk to him, I didn't think Ohtani was going to end up coming here. Again, it's what we talked about earlier. Baseball's got an issue with their offseason, and when you want to be a year-round sport, you got to figure out how to fix that because it's just there's nothing. There's nothing until there's no news until there's news.
Right. And on top of that, too, the Mets, I think, we talked about this before. David Stearns has kept things under lock and key. There are no leaks coming out at all.
Nope, he killed the rats.
No leaks at all, which is commendable. That's something that you can be able to really keep things close to the vest. You can be able to strategize correctly to know that there's no leaks coming out of the building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Armand said it. That was the one that I remember. Bryce Harper and Manny Machado's offseason was slow. Yeah, they didn't sign until much later into the offseason, into spring training, where Bryce Harper got that deal from the Phillies. So yeah, there's been precedent here, and it's been a consistency over the past 10 years. I'm telling you, we've seen this decline in MLB free agency, and they got to fix it. They
definitely got to fix it. Yeah. But I do think that fit wise and ending the years that these players are going to end up getting, I feel like Cody Bellinger, like as much as I want Kyle Tucker, because I think he's a better baseball player than Cody Bellinger. I think
more versatile.
He's more versatile, and he's just going to fit. I think he's going to end up taking what you said. I think he's going to end up getting like a 4-year deal. I don't think anybody's going to give him 5, 6, or 7. I can't see that happening at this point. Maybe somebody smarter than me will be able to explain why that happens, but he'll probably take like a 4-year deal, and that David Stearns will be like, I can do that.
I mean, listen, the same contract that he gave to Schwarber, give it to Belly. 4 years.
I just don't know if Belly's going to take, because wasn't it 3?
Was it 3 years? 3 years, $120 million.
Yeah, I don't know if Bellinger's going to be like, do I really want to basically say my baseball career as a star is over after 3 years? Because I mean, that's the only serious money he's going to get. You know what I mean?
The $120 million.
It wasn't enough for Kyle Schwarber. This is Kyle Schwarber's probably last big contract that he's going to see, I'd have to imagine. So, I mean, it wasn't enough for him. But it is also different. I guess Bellinger wouldn't have to move. He's going to be able to just stay
and
here.
That's a big thing, especially if he likes New York. That would be a thing. And Armand said that Hal really has the Yankees on a budget. Absolutely. He wants to stay under $300 million, which is like
crazy.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like
it is crazy. Criminal. Put him in jail. Put him in jail.
You're talking about, we only got $20 million to spend. Who are you signing for $20 million right now in free agency? No one.
No,
you can get a bunch of scrap heap guys if you want to do the minor league invitation joint. Do that, but you're not gonna get a Cody Bellinger for $20 million. You're just not gonna do that. You're not gonna get a Bo Bichette for $20 million. You're not gonna do that. So if the Yankees are going internal, where they're just gonna look internal for these options, then cool. I guess.
Wow, Bellinger's batting average was batting average and on base percentage was kind of low last year.
Well, batting average, I mean, 266 is not bad, right?
No, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. What was his on base?
322.
322. Yeah, that's pretty low. You want to see that anywhere between the
slugging was like 416. Like he was like in average on base percentage and slugging, he was just at about league average last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, but look, he fits a lot of holes. That's the only thing that I guess I did list a couple of things that make me nervous about Belly, but it's just that how streaky he is.
Yeah.
Like I think I mentioned it last time we were talking that Cody Bellinger is not that far removed from basically getting cut by the Dodgers and having his career saved by the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then got to play in a little league field in Yankee Stadium. You're going to Flushing where, the outfield is very vast.
Yeah.
And that makes me a little nervous, but I mean, if it's a 4-year deal, if it's a 3-year deal, I mean, you do it. But if it's a 4-year deal, I'll probably still tend to do it. I'm really, really hoping that it's Kyle Tucker. I'm really hoping it's Kyle Tucker.
Yeah. I mean, Armand said, this is prime right now for the Dodgers to come swoop in and get one of these guys like Belly. Because the thing is, here's the thing. It goes back to, again, Stearns as a negotiator, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Cody Bellinger, if I'm Kyle Tucker, if I'm Alex Bregman, and you give me a short deal and the Dodgers give me the same short deal, where am I going?
True.
I'm going to, like, you understand what I'm saying? You if you get the years that you want, right? If that's the market that is now set for these players, it's a short deal for either one of them. You cannot penny pinch at that point. You have to go all in and seal the deal. That's the concern that I have, is that, okay, you got the fair market years. You need to now entice these players to be able to come here, because if the money is even, they're going to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers offer the same thing. And you're going to be right back in the Edwin Diaz type of situation. So this is the issue that I have. You can't always get everything that you want as a GM. You have to be able to bend in some ways, because this is free agency. Players have the advantage. I don't need to talk to you if another team is going to give me what I want.
Oh, yeah. We got to pay the Mets tax.
We got to pay. That's just what it is. It's a tax period. Like, if you want a player, you got to show that player that you want them. And if giving them an extra year is going to seal the deal, you have to do that, no matter how uncomfortable you might be.
Oh yeah, and again, and I think the fact that they let Nimmo walk, they let Pete walk, they got Jeff out of here. They have enough. They have the money to spend. Like we're not going in with a bargain basement payroll. It's not going to happen. So they have the money to spend, and I think that they're going to do it strategically. But they're doing it like it's frustrating when they don't make these moves. Like it's frustrating. Like we've said before, it's frustrating that all we really know right now is loss because we're fresh off of an embarrassing season and a lot of these really good fan favorites are gone.
Yeah.
So all we really know is loss and we're just waiting for this market to play out. And that's what's so frustrating. But in reality, the Mets are kind of doing it right. Like they're not jumping the gun and negotiating against themselves and just throwing a whole bunch of money in years at a lot of these players when, I mean, we were talking about Kyle Tucker getting like 10 years and I mean, he's still a free agent. Nobody's giving it to him. So
yeah.
why would the Mets just at the front of free agency just say, or right after Pete left, why would they just go, okay, Tucker, here you go, 10 years and all of this money? When, I mean, if that deal was on the table, I'd imagine he would have taken it already. And here we are.
100%.
And it's December 23rd. So the Mets, while it's frustrating and you want to see more movement, they're playing it the right way. They're playing the market. They're going to see where these guys shake out. We're going to give you a good deal probably. And we're going to see. That's why like I'm as the days go on, I mean, as you know, we've done these shows so much and I've just been so confident that the Mets are going to make these moves. I feel better. Weirdly, I feel better as the time goes on. Like, okay, cool. They're not going to just react. Like the Mets of old would have just like immediately reacted, probably made a move that's to the detriment of the team and then filled in holes with like little marginal players here and there. Do it calculated. Do it the way you want to do it and the way you feel like it's going to win. And I like it. They did it right with Pete last year. Pete had a bad year. They waited him out until he took this prove it deal, proved it, and he got a big deal. It didn't end up working out for the Mets, but because the Mets didn't win. But do that same formula again. Wait it out. See what these guys are ultimately going to get. You got until spring training to make these deals anyway, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like what John R said here. Sign Imai and or the Bellinger Tucker combo, trade for Peralta and Yandy, and off to the races.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. I am good with that because I think that Tatsu Imai, I want him. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like out of obviously Akamoto, I want to. If I can pick one, I want Imai just because it's pitching, right? And we need pitching. Yes, we need to fill out bats and all that stuff, but we need front end pitching that we can have a solid number 2. I'm not saying that he's an ace, but he can be a solid number 2, solid number 3. And if you got guys like that, then you have a shot. Hopefully Sean Manaea can come back and be something this year. Hopefully we got McLean. We got, maybe somebody else comes up. We have so many prospects that you don't know who's going to actually get the call and have impact on this team. Like a Will Watson, like who you never know who it's going to be. So I am, but we still do need to sign at least 1 or 2 guys for the rotation and then fill it out with who we're going to do. But Imai would be a fantastic pickup.
He would be huge.
And Peralta, like, come on now. He's going to be a free agent. The package is not going to be that crazy for him. Go get him.
Oh, yeah. And it's and I would honestly, I was kind of curious to see what you were going to say about Akamoto because
I desperately want him.
I know. Well, I know you do. I know you do. But I almost felt like that it became more realistic for the Mets to get Akamoto when I saw what Murakami signed for in Chicago because because evidently the league is saying we're kind of nervous about these guys. Like I kind of need to see more out of them. So I mean, it kind of. If the guy's better defensively than Murakami is, it kind of lends itself to being like maybe the Mets will just be like, hey, I'll take a flyer on him. Give us like 3 years. I'll pay you some good money, some decent money, and let's see what you can do. And if you're better, I look, we got a lockout coming. If you want to give him like 3 years with an if you want to give him the Pete deal,
right?
Maybe a little less money, but give him the Pete deal. I'm cool with that. Let him test free agency next year and see if he's going to get paid.
Because Akamoto is 29, I believe.
Yeah.
29. So like he's won a couple of gold gloves out there. So he's a guy that's a little advanced in his career. I think he's more of a finished product than everybody else. So that's why I want him just because defense translates. He may not be able to hit, but defense translates. And if you want somebody who's going to be a versatile defender, first, third, I like that at a low costing AAV, like $17-18 million a year.
Yeah.
I think the Mets can be able to do that and not bat an eye. You know what I'm saying? You were paying Jeff McNeil damn near the $17 million a year. Like, go get somebody else that you can be able to have that's in that range and take a risk on them. You can be able to do that. Like, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Same thing with Imai. I think Imai is what, 27, I believe.
Let's see. I believe you're right.
Yeah, I think he's 27. So you can be able to get a guy within a fair market deal, even if it's a 2-year deal.
27.
Right. He can be able to have a prove it 2-year contract. Same thing with Murakami. Murakami is gonna hit free agency at 27. If he hits for 2 years with the White Sox, then now he can be able to go get a major deal 2 years from now in free agency because he's still 27. Right.
Yeah.
So Imai can be able to do the same thing. If you go sign a short 2-year deal, you can be able to still be under 30 and still be able to have a chance to get a pretty decent contract, the next contract that you sign. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
I absolutely agree.
That's probably where it's going. So I'm curious to see exactly where these guys land. But if we can be able to land one of them, sign me up. I don't care which one it is, but get one of them.
And I just want to acknowledge something. So Armand, you said that you would like it, but Stearns wouldn't do all of that. That was obviously talking before about Bellinger, Tucker, Peralta, and Yandy. I don't think it's as unrealistic as you think, and I understand your I totally understand your skepticism because, like we've been saying, the Mets have been just losing players, not adding a lot other than Polanco. But Peralta was a guy Stearns brought in, so Stearns already familiar with the guy. The Brewers are looking to dump him. The Mets acknowledge that they need to trade they need to make the pitching staff better. So I think that is definitely realistic. The Tampa Bay Rays are unloading guys. They don't like having older guys. They want to get payroll off because they're the Tampa Bay Rays. Yandy Diaz feels very realistic. And Cody Bellinger and Kyle Tucker. And again, like we said before, the longer that their free agency goes on, the more likely that they're going to have to take a deal that's not necessarily what they were thinking at the start of free agency. You know what I mean? Like if that 7, 8, 9, 10-year deal was on the table, both of them would have signed him already. They're clearly not. So the longer this plays out, the more it becomes more realistic that the Mets can make one of these moves. I definitely think David Stearns would do that. I think it is likely that David Stearns would make a move like that because like we keep saying, the Mets are telling us they are building a team to compete for the for the playoffs. I'm not going to say World Series, but they're going to try to compete for the playoffs, which is all we can ask for at this point.
Right.
I want any Mets fan. I've said it before. If you are a World Series or bust Mets fan, you have not been along for this ride for as long as all of us have, because we don't get to say World Series or bust because we don't get to the World Series a lot. You know, I just want to see a competitive baseball team that makes the playoffs regularly.
In back-to-back years.
Exactly. In back-to-back years. Give me that. Like, if I can get to a point as a Mets fan where I'm complaining that they're not getting over the hump and winning a World Series because we've seen them in the playoffs a bunch of times, if we can get to that point, I'd be thrilled. I would be thrilled. It's all like I'm a Giants fan. It's all the Giants fans that are talking about like what coach can the Giants land that's going to make them a Super Bowl contender. I'm like, Super Bowl contender?
Playoffs.
Can they make the playoffs once? Can they make the playoffs twice?
As a Jets fan, all I want is playoffs. I don't give a damn about no damn Super Bowl.
Okay, so real quick, I know you're a Jets fan. So before we end here, we don't have to end on a Jets question. I want to get through all the Mets stuff, and I have one Jets question.
Okay, cool.
One Jets question for you.
So all right, so we're talking about Imai, we're talking about Okamoto, we're talking about Belly, we're talking about Tucker. We're talking about Yandy Diaz, Peralta. Is there any other? Oh, we haven't discussed the other rumor out there that's constantly just this nagging and like kind of gnat type of situation. And that's Luis Robert. Like, how do we feel about Luis Robert? Because I go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a talented outfielder in regards to defensively, but the offensive numbers have not been great. However, there is a however with that. I can understand how a young player, because he is 27, how a young player can be disenfranchised or kind of just like they just don't really care about being where they are because it is the White Sox, that he just doesn't give a shit to be there and he wants to get out to be able to get a fresh start. That's what intrigues me about Luis Robert, because yeah, he's making $20+ million for the next couple seasons, but the defense is good. And if you're going to think about the 2023 year that he had, it was pretty effing good, right?
Yeah.
And that was the last time that the White Sox were actually good. Like they won 80, I think it was 80 games that year. Yeah. So they like, that's what I hold on to. But there's another part of me that has recency bias. Like, okay, I can't look at 2023. That's 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
What are you right now?
Yeah.
And are your bad habits going to continue to like just be that now? Is this who you are now? And 2023 is in the past. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest concern that I have. I like the fact that he's 27. I like the fact that he has athletic abilities. I like the fact that he can play defense. But
dude, and honestly, you said something that just sends up red flags in my mind, in that you wonder if he just wants to get out of there.
Yeah, his motor.
And exactly. And look, I mean, again, we're Mets fans. We've watched a lot of really bad baseball teams, and we just watched one that was historically bad last year. Yeah. My only thing that I worry about is if this team goes through issues, which could happen.
He's gonna mail it in.
Is he gonna mail it in and do what he's been doing if this is like an effort thing? If it's like I'm in Chicago, I'm in hell with the White Sox, I'm not gonna give it my all just because we're not gonna win anything. If it gets to that point with the Mets, is he gonna do kind of something similar? But the only thing that's making me really not have a big issue with it is that he signed for 2026. Yep. There's a club option in 2027, and he's a UFA in 2028. Right. So I don't really know if you're going to have to give up a lot for him.
Yeah, it's not a huge risk.
He's coming off of 2 bad years, and he's still 27. You got him for team control for this year and next year if you want to. I'd consider it, just because you're probably not, like, it's not going to take a Sproat. It's not going to take a Tong.
It's going to take Vientos and something else.
It might take like Vientos and the pitcher we got in the McNeil trade. Maybe. Right. I don't know. Like, that's just a joke. Obviously they're probably not going to trade him, but I just, I'm interested. He's good defensively, and if he can get anywhere close to what he was in 2023, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. John R says, I'm hearing about Christian Walker. Yeah, I heard about that too, John. Like, it's I am not a big Christian Walker fan. I think that he had a very average year with Houston. He's not a terrible defensive guy. He's a little older, but he can hit. And in a lineup where you have a guy like, you have Soto, you got Lindor, you have guys that can be able to protect him and be able to get him more exposure and more things to hit, he may be able to have a better year here. But is it a move that I would like? Not really. Would I be mad at it? Not really. You know what I mean? No. It's just one of those kind of like moves if they get it done. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be happy either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 34 years old. So you're getting a little bit older, which again, I don't necessarily mind. His offensive stats are at or below league average. He's pretty good defensively. Again, I'm not going to get super excited about a Christian Walker move, but I mean, he's a sound baseball player.
Yeah, it's very, very sound. Like, he's not going to cost you games. Like, that's the one thing about him. He's a consummate professional. So if you want guys like that, and listen, we might just need to have more guys like that are just consummate professionals that come to work, do their job. They're not overly fantastic, but they're not terrible either. You just an average baseball player. If you have a bunch of average guys that can be able to get some situational hits, magic can happen. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So, like this is baseball we're talking about here. Adam Butt says, "Happy holidays, fellas. Greetings from the North. Salute. Hope your holidays are gonna be good. Hope you get drunk and have a good time." Yeah, Christian Walker's deal is not that bad. You know what I mean? I think it was a 3-year, $60 million deal that he had signed with Houston. So it's not.
But the Mets were going to get him last year.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were one of the teams that wanted him last year. So if that ends up happening, if he's available, I wouldn't be upset with that. I really won't. Like it's about getting guys who have history on the back of their baseball card for me. I need somebody who, when you flip that baseball card, oh yeah, there's history here. This guy can be able to hit.
Yeah.
Like these are I don't want any, well, this guy can be this. No, I don't. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I need guys who have done it already. Yep. And Christian Walker is a guy that has done it. So if they bring him in, I'm all good with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be over the moon, but at least you got somebody who can play the position and you don't have to worry about.
Totally. I would even though he's better defensively, even though Christian Walker's better defensively, I would rather Yandy Diaz though.
Yeah.
Make that trade, because I know that guy hits. That guy mashes.
He's mad. Yeah, he's a raker, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's Armand says, yeah, I'm the same way. I believe in Robert. Needs to be moved to a corner outfield. Yeah, you can be able to move him to corner outfield until Benj is ready, right? And if it doesn't work out, then you can cut ties with Robert and give the reins to Benj.
It feels like a low risk, high reward thing.
Yeah, it's definitely low risk, high reward, 100%. I think if out of any move that the Mets can make, that's the move. But I do believe that they're waiting this market out first.
Yeah,
they want to see what the actual price for Bellinger drops to before they go ahead and strike. Because I can guarantee this. I can guarantee this with certainty, Tom. If Belly and Tucker are off the board, Luis Robert is a Met the next day.
I don't, to be honest with you, I don't see why Luis Robert isn't a Met even if Bellinger comes here. I don't see why he wouldn't be. You know, you can, he plays center field. So if you don't want to go Tyrone Taylor and Carson Benj right away, you got somebody that can play a good center field.
Yeah.
Bellinger could get most of the reps at first. And then if you really want to move Robert to left, put him in left field and just let Belly be the full-time first baseman.
Right.
You know, like I don't see why. The only time that I see Luis Robert not happening, I mean, is obviously if we get crazy and Kyle Tucker's coming here. But
listen,
you know,
I still want him.
I'm holding out hope, man. It's not, again, until he signs a deal, I'm gonna believe it's possible. Until he goes somewhere, it is possible.
It is because look, could you imagine? You imagine Soto and Tucker in the same lineup? Are you kidding?
That'd be amazing. The only thing that scares me is like I've heard a couple of times that if they bring in Kyle Tucker, they're gonna put Soto in left field and Kyle Tucker in right field. That makes me a little nervous just because Soto's had the time to learn right field and he's already not the greatest outfielder.
Yeah.
So like moving him to a new position, have to get the new angles. It makes me a little nervous.
I mean, look, he's a chopping right. He'll be a chopping left. I don't care. I don't care. Like, just get the bats here. I mean, because Tucker is not. He's an average to semi below average outfielder at this point. Like they like some of his years are very up and down. Like he's good one year and then he's not so good one year. You know what I mean? Like, so if he can be able to figure that out and be a lot more consistent defensively, that's fine. But the bat's a bat. The guy is a guy that's going to give you at least a 900 OPS.
Yeah.
Like it just pencil it in. You know what I'm saying? And I need that in my lineup. I need that in my lineup.
I totally agree. I just like, again, it sucks that we're here. It sucks that we're here having to build a new team, but it really feels great that we still have Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto in this lineup. Like just getting to complement them with other players makes this feel less daunting.
Yeah. I mean, listen, when you got Lindor and Soto to build around, it ain't so bad, man.
No,
it really ain't.
Life's not that bad. You got two guys that are going to probably fight for MVP votes. You know what I mean? So
Listen,
I wouldn't worry about it.
Listen, could you imagine if Soto and Lindor hit 40 home runs next year?
Oh my God, I would be so happy. I'd be arguing with myself which jersey I'm going to wear to the stadium.
Listen, I'm not going. I would go a little I want to see Lindor bat 3 and Soto cleanup. I think that can work.
Oh yeah, I think it could. I think we got to see the rest again. We got to see the rest of this offseason to see setting the table for Soto. But I know I've been seeing. I think Evan Roberts on the Fan was saying Soto needs to be their leadoff hitter, just because of how much he gets on base.
Right.
It's
not a bad idea either.
And then you can, if you get through the order and the bottom of the order can get on, he can just hit one out.
Crazy table setter. So you have Soto, Lindor in the second hole because you want to get him as much at bats as possible.
Yeah. I just always liked Lindor in the leadoff spot. Like he turned a corner when he started leading off. I know it didn't work out.
Last year wasn't good. Like his away splits, his splits were terrible last year. Like he just could not hit on the road. But I think it's a one-off. I think he'll get back to being a lot more consistent on the road. And because
got rid of that bum Eric Chavez.
Is that motherfucker still talking? Is he still talking?
It's weird. Like it's so weird. I think he just hates Mets. I don't think he hates the Mets. I think he hates Mets fans. I think he likes to troll Mets fans, and I also believe that he's not a fan of David Stearns. I just don't think he likes David Stearns. I think I saw one of his Instagram stories where he was kind of praising David Stearns.
Oh, was he?
A little bit. Yeah, I don't think he has like this big hatred for him.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's more the Mets fans. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely hates us because we just have been calling for his job for the better part of a year.
Oh, we've been killing him. We've been killing him since.
You remember when we were so excited? Like he was gonna go sign with the Yankees, and he came here. And we're like, yeah, we got Eric Chavez. This guy was like an MVP. He was great. And
he was a professional hitter. He's gonna help us. No,
he didn't. No. He had the audacity to try to alter Juan Soto's swing. You should be put in jail. You should absolutely be put in prison, put 100%. In sports jail.
100%. Like what you don't talk. It's just like what we talked about, right? It's like Adam Gase and Peyton Manning, right? Adam Gase is the offensive coordinator. You don't give Peyton Manning plays. You ask Peyton Manning what does he want to run, and Peyton Manning tells you what he wants to run, and you go back and you sit by the sidelines and just collect dust and hold the clipboard. You don't do anything. Like, leave him alone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you don't touch him. You don't touch that guy. You don't touch that guy.
This guy knows what he's doing. You just smile and wave. That's it. That's all you do. You just say, hi, how's it going, Juan? And that's your only interaction with this man.
Hey, you need anything? You need some water? You all right? You good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you teach these young guys how to be able to have some approach? I'm off today. I'll let you do it. That's what you do. You let Juan do what he does. You know
exactly. I mean? That was agree. I couldn't believe it when I read that. Like, really, this guy's getting paid money.
Listen, but think about it. If he's giving Soto instructions, then the fact that he damaged Alvarez just makes all the sense in the world because he just believes that he can be able to change people. First off, you weren't that great. You were good, but you weren't great.
No.
So I don't know who you're gonna tell to be great when you weren't great.
No, agreed. I totally agree. And I'm really hoping that Alvarez gets to benefit from him being gone because Alvarez was killing it in the minors when he was on his rehab stints, and they would come up to the majors and be a zero. So,
well, listen, I think they promoted JP Arancibia because JP was the one that was like, "Yo, dude, just go back to what you were doing."
Yeah,
like don't let that idiot tell you what to do. He's an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? So, it's we'll see. Hopefully, one day, right? This is what I hope, and it might not happen. But I would love for a real professional Hall of Fame type of hitter to be our hitting coach, like a Barry Bonds. Could you imagine having Barry Bonds as a hitting coach for the Mets? Because like when you talk about it's the philosophy of a hitter.
Yeah.
When you hear him speak, it's like I don't want it to go off. Like, just keep going. Just keep talking. Like, people like Alex Rodriguez, just keep talking because you guys just know hitting.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. You need guys that understand how to play the chess game. I don't think that outside of Soto and some other guys in the league, guys don't play the chess game anymore.
No.
They don't study pitchers and say, all right, I know what this guy, like there's a video of Bonds and Maddox watching a showdown that they had and listening to them speak. Bonds knew what the fuck he was going to throw. Like, because Maddox confirmed it. He's like, yeah, I was gonna throw this one, and I was just like, that's gold right there.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
That's like elite level thinking at the plate, and that's what we need, teaching these kids how to hit. That's what I'm saying.
I agree, and I think, am I wrong? I think Barry Bonds was the hitting coach in Miami,
and they did well that year.
I think that might have been Giancarlo's MVP year.
Yes, he was there, and they did well that year. It's just, that's what I want. Like, give me Bonds.
I agree. I mean, like, hey, Juan Soto's going to be here for 15 years.
Yeah,
An old player that's going to be our
in.
hitting coach. It might be him. It might be him towards the end of his career.
Bring him in. You never know. Juan Soto would be a great hitting coach if he decided.
He's going to be here a while, so you might as well just teach these kids how to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Just make Juan the hitting instructor. That's it.
Yeah.
Make them.
He clearly knows what he's doing.
Clearly knows what he's doing. I think we covered a lot on the show.
Yeah.
We're just kind of in a waiting pattern right now, holding pattern. It's the holidays. We might not get any action until, maybe after New Year's. So, we might be in a holding pattern for another 2 weeks or so. We'll see. But if there's anything that does happen, me and Tom will be right back on here to discuss it with you guys. Thank you guys for being in here as usual.
Can I ask you my Jets question?
Go ahead, my friend.
Okay, so you're a Jets fan. How are you? Yes. What is your opinion of the Sam Darnold situation? Because Sam Darnold was with the Jets, was terrible with the Jets, goes to a bunch of bounces around the league, and now finds himself in Seattle, where he is just having crazy amounts of success. Are you like, I hope this guy crashes and burns because it didn't work out here, or are you like, good on you, dude? Good for you getting it done.
Oh no, I'm rooted. I root for Sam Darnold every single week because I think that when he was here, he was a professional. He never complained. He was always very solid in regards to his personality, and so he wasn't immature. The Jets organization in their history, we do not develop quarterbacks. We just can't. Yeah. Like, we've never developed any single quarterback in our history. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it didn't shock me that a guy that had talent coming out of USC that was a high draft pick is going to go somewhere at some point and have somebody who knows how to develop quarterbacks get the most out of him. Yeah. I knew it was going to happen. The only one that I knew that was garbage from day one was, what's his name? Zach Wilson. Garbage from day one. I told everybody, I said, this kid is garbage. He's not good. And it's, he played at BYU. I said, exactly. He played at BYU, and he didn't play anybody good. Every time he did play anybody good, he had the deer in the headlights look. And you want him to come to New York? It's not going to work. No, and his career has not taken off. Why? Because he's not good. So Darnold's completely different. I'm rooting for him. I will continue to root for him. Same thing with Geno Smith. When he went to Seattle, he ended up figuring it out. Like, when you have talent, you can be able to go somewhere and bounce back. Josh Fields, or Justin Fields, I call him Josh Fields. Justin Fields is going to leave the Jets, and he's going to be a world beater. He's going to go here and go here and go here and go. He's not going to stick anywhere because he's not good. You know
okay. I wasn't sure what you were going at.
Yeah, he's not good. He's not good.
He stinks. Yeah,
he's not good. So, if there's talent there, just like how Darnold had, he's going to find – they're always going to be able to find their way, and I'm so happy for Sam Darnold. I hope that they end up getting the number 1 seed. Hell, I hope the Seattle Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. Because at least I can say that guy was a Jet and he got a Super Bowl ring. Respect.
So it is possible. So they can – so that would just say – they might not be able to develop them, but they do have an eye. They can pick a quarterback.
They can pick them. They just can't develop them. That's all it is. So hopefully we can be able to get a guy that we can be able to have in our system that can develop quarterbacks, and we can get a great help. Who knows?
We'll see. Maybe, Fernando Mendoza.
Maybe we get Mendoza. I listen, I've said it before on my show. I'm like, I like the kid, but he's just a little weird for me. I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Josh Allen's pretty weird.
He is. But he got that. He got Haley Steinfeld on his arm. He's all right. He's all right.
Well, look, Mendoza comes to New York. He'll probably have some model on his arm if he.
Listen, you guys are vying for the number 1 pick. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys to win the game. Okay. Beat the Raiders. Beat them bad. Because I don't need y'all to have the number 1 pick. You don't need it. You don't need it. Okay. We need it. And we're not.
The Giants don't need it. The Giants so need it.
No, you don't. You got Dart already. You don't need a quarterback.
They don't know, but that's the thing. They definitely don't need a quarterback right now.
Yeah.
And again, I love Jackson Dart, and I think he's going to be the man. I just I want to pump the brakes on calling him Eli Manning right now because like we got 1 year. I remember really thinking really highly of Daniel Jones after year 1. But the Giants do need it because they need as many picks as they possibly can get because there's no talent on this team. Like nobody.
See, the reason why I don't want y'all to have it is because if you do have it, then we're going to have to negotiate with you guys. And we don't want to negotiate with terrorists. We don't want to do that.
But you give us all those picks. You look, dude, listen, you give us all those picks you got for Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, and we give you the thing that the Jets haven't had like since Namath. Franchise quarterback.
We'll go call the Bengals and go see if we can get that bad man Joe Burrow. That's what we want.
They're not trading them. They're not trading them.
I am going to hold out hope that Joe Burrow says, I want out of Cincinnati. I'm going to New York. That's what I want.
The Boomer Esiason 2.0.
Yeah, listen, I'll take it.
Is Rich Kotite available?
Rich Kotite. Please don't talk about Rich Kotite or Adam Gase or any of these people. But yeah, that is the show, guys. Have a great Christmas. We'll definitely be back before New Year's. Hopefully there's some news. If not, then we'll still probably get on here next week and talk about what the latest rumors are. If there's any hot stove stuff, is there things that have some smoke. So we'll be back. Salute to you guys. We'll be back next week. So later.